Greetings, folks. If you're watching this in the future, please leave a like and please subscribe. Helps out the channel, helps out these streams. But here we are, day 51, and we've passed the 50-day without crashing milestone. I can't help but be a little proud of myself, gotta be honest. 50 days without crashing GP bikes. Many of those days on the Isle of Man, no less, and Nürburgring. Gotta say, I'm kind of good at this game. Alright, enough of that. We're going to be doing the Isle of Man today. We're going to be going to Sector 3, and we're going to be practicing at Sector 3 for quite a while, probably. I'd like to do another 2 to 3 hour stream tonight. It's about 9 p.m. Hopefully we'll be getting done 11:30ish would be awesome. But yeah, we're going to be going to Sector 3, going to be practicing. Yesterday we were practicing Sector 2. Probably tomorrow we'll be practicing Sector 4, the mountain section. And like yesterday, earlier today I finished the final version of Sector 3 for release, so I'm about halfway done as far as getting each of these sectors like perfected for this mod release, this Isle of Man broken into sectors. So honestly, I'll probably have it ready to release by the end of the week, by Sunday. It'll be all the way done. The fourth sector is pretty much done. All I have to do is sort of like import the centerline that I used for the current Sector 4 that I've been using. And so that'll be really quick. I'll be able to get Sector 4 done tomorrow. And then the first sector is the only one that I really have to do any work for. And I'll need to draw most of the centerline for that one. So it'll probably take me like a couple hours, but honestly I could probably have everything just about done by Friday, and then I'll be working on having it up to GPB mods, and yeah, then it'll be available to download. And I'm thinking definitely by Sunday I'll have that ready. So how cool is that? We're about to release our first mod. It'll be the Isle of Man rideable. All kinds of proud of myself today. Love it. Let's pour a little water, and then we will get our helmet on and get started with the ride. Okay. I got a nice little bit of encouragement from a chatter yesterday during my 50-day without crashing stream. Just a little bit of an encouragement. It was nice. I got so few views on the stream yesterday. I was kind of upset at that, but I don't know, whatever. As I said, I would do this series whether or not people were watching at all, just because I gained so many skills from it. It's amazing for your skill in motorcycling to practice this sort of discipline. What are we looking for? It was kind of upsetting. I've gotten several streams, I think, at this point that were over 50 views, a few that were over 50 like during the stream. That was awesome. I think those usually happened when I was streaming at about like 4 or 5 p.m. or something like that. That seems to be like a good hot spot. Can't always make 4 or 5 p.m. happen during the day, but yeah, I just didn't get very many viewers. But yeah, here we go. Sector 3. Sector 3 version 0.1. I've got Sector 2 and Sector 3 done. Don't have the picture for it yet, but I did get some very cool pictures for these sectors that I'm very excited to link up with these sections. I'm all good. I've got my controller plugged in, got my fan blowing up into my helmet, so I won't be too sweaty. Let's adjust our tire pressures real quick. Bump our fuel up. I think that's about good. I did shorten this sector slightly, so the previous version of it that I was running was from Belaf, where it is now, to Guthrie's Memorial, and I shortened it slightly to the Gooseneck. And the reason I did that was because I was getting a lot of shaking on the mountain section, on the beginning of the mountain section in particular. So I wanted to shorten that sector a little bit. So I ended up shortening the mountain section to end at about Craignabah, and that allowed me to extend the top of the mountain section a little bit up to the Gooseneck where it is right now. And that also cuts down a little bit on the shaking that I was experiencing throughout the Ramsey section. So hopefully, once I've got section 4, well, hopefully today we'll see when we go through Ramsey. I haven't play tested it yet, but when we go through Ramsey, hopefully there's not a lot of shaking. There was a bunch in my last version of this particular sector, so hoping that's been cut down on, and hoping that with the new mountain section there won't be very much shaking either near the Gooseneck at the beginning or near the end around Craignabah. And then it'll be a little bit weird, but the first sector will run from Craignabah up to Glen Helen. That'll be a very long sector, and it won't start at the starting line, but I don't know, that's really the best I can do to make sure that the shaking is like just totally minimal, you know? And that's really all I care about. So we're about good. Let's get ourselves loaded up here. And we'll be going relatively fast today. But we will be starting slow. So I'll be using both lanes once again from the start. And we'll just be going really slow at first for the first loop. We'll just be feeling out the shaking, seeing whether it's gone in Ramsey, and then just warming up. We'll go slow for the first loop, and then we'll just gradually get faster across the night. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a good 2.5 hour ride. So let's get going, people. That's good. Yeah, we're just going to be going really slow for this first loop, kind of refamiliarizing ourselves with the line, seeing if there's any weird sections as far as the track itself goes. And then start to speed it up. Hold on a second, my gyro seems like it's a little bit off. Alright, that's better. Alright, if I remember correctly, the shaking in the last version of this sector started around Schoolhouse Corner, I think. Let's see how it goes this time. Will there be any shaking? None so far. It's a very good sign. Almost no shaking through here. Just a little bit. It started right there. Let's see how it goes. very, very manageable though. Very manageable shaking. The problem with the last version of this was that, like, about this point, the shaking was so bad that it was like starting to throw you offline, but this is very manageable. A little bit of shaking there. Almost no shaking through here. Up through Waterworks. Still almost no shaking. Oh, there's a little bit right there. A little bit of shaking. Up through Tower Bends. And then here's Gooseneck, and this is pretty much the end of the sector right here. Let's see exactly where it ends. Yeah, ends right there. So that's awesome. There's almost no shaking throughout this whole sector. It was really bad before, so that is great. But cool. So we play tested that. Now we're just gonna be. I think it's gonna be a slow day. I'm a little bit tired. I've done a lot of stuff today. I actually mostly unlaced my KLR's rims. I'm in the middle of unlacing them so that I can paint them, and then I'm going to put on some new tires and true them and balance them and all that. And I finally got the tires off of the rims. That took me like a few days of like wrestling, but I finally figured out how to get those beads over the rims. And yeah, did that today, and then I started unlacing them, and I was having a problem with some of the spokes on the rear rim. I'm gonna try to figure that out tomorrow, but hopefully I'll have that whole job done by Friday or so. But yeah, I was doing a lot today. I'm a little bit tired, so probably not going to be going too fast, but we will get progressively faster throughout the night as I get warmed up. A little bit of shaking through there, but it's really not bad compared to how it was before. That's awesome. Hold on a second, I'm gonna recenter myself here. I feel like I'm leaning over a little bit too far. My back kind of hurts. Yeah, it's more comfortable. Gotta find a more comfortable chair. Sitting in it so long doing these streams. forgot about that corner. I'm gonna have to remember that one. That's a really dangerous corner right there. That one sneaks up on you. It's like just after the K-tree section. I forget exactly how many corners are in between it and K-tree. That corner also kind of sneaks up on you. And I think there's another one, yeah, right up here. Yeah, I'm definitely not feeling super hot today. So don't feel very in tune with the weather. Yeah, we'll do another lap just to see, but if I continue feeling this way, I'm probably not going to be going too much faster than this, and I'm also probably not going to stream very long, unfortunately. But sometimes you have these days. Ooh, overshot Ramsey a little bit. Yeah, I feel really out of it today. I definitely am not going to be going much faster than this, and I'm almost definitely not going to be going for very long, maybe 2 or 3 more loops, just to get some practice down today. So out of it though, it's upsetting. Alright, that was K-Tree. Let's see exactly where that surprise corner is. I think it's coming up. Yeah, it's just up here. Alright, I'm gonna need to remember the order of the corners a little better. Right before it is like a tight right hand kink, and then there's like that white wall on the left hand side, and that's kind of a good indicator that that tight corner's coming up. There's another one just after that long left-hand bend. Back is hurting a lot today. Real quick, I'm gonna check my tires, and then I honestly think I might end the stream. My back's hurting. I'm not feeling in tune with the bike. It is just not very good circumstances today for whatever reason. Maybe I need to stretch more before these streams. I think I can get another loop out of the front tire. Just on a normal day I can do 3 loops, but yeah, I think I might just end the stream, honestly. What are we at? Right about 40 minutes. Yeah, I feel weird today. Don't want to chance it. Don't want to make my back any more sore. Gonna do some stretching and stuff, and hopefully tomorrow we'll come back and we'll do a nice long 2.5 hour, 3 hour stream. It'll be day 100 total for this streaming series. It'll be 52 days without crashing tomorrow, but 100 days total. I've crashed 4 times while I've been doing this streaming series, but yeah, 100 days total. That's awesome. Yeah, so let's get out of here. Yeah, I'm sorry to end it earlier, folks. Yeah, just sore out of the loop today for whatever reason, so yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow for hopefully a much longer stream and much faster.